Picture this. You step into your home and the air is filled with the heavenly aroma of freshly baked sweet buns. Soft, golden, and just begging to be devoured. When you pair them with a creamy, silky homemade vanilla sauce, it's not just a dessert, it's a moment of pure joy, sweet, filling, and irresistibly delicious. This recipe will warm your kitchen, your heart, and your taste buds all at once. Ready to create some magic? Let's dive right in. Welcome to Apollo's Diner. Hello and welcome my friends and fellow Apollonians. Welcome to Apollo's Diner. I'm your host Apollo Jupiter, and today I'm thrilled to share a dessert that is very close to my heart. A dish rooted in European tradition, lovingly reimagined with my own twist. This recipe brings me back to the sweet moments of childhood. Lovely buns that we enjoyed in school or kindergarten, always a little warm, a little messy, but absolutely unforgettable. While we can't relive those exact memories, I promise you, the very moment this dish hits your tongue, it'll create a memory you'll cherish forever. So let's roll up our sleeves and bring this delicious tradition to life. Let's get started. What you'll need for 12 delicious buns: 300 grams or 2.5 cups of simple wheat flour, 3 grams or 1 teaspoon of vanilla sugar, 15 grams or 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 42 grams or 3 tablespoons of white sugar, 75 grams or 5 tablespoons of warm butter, 125 milliliters or half a cup of lukewarm milk, a pinch of salt, a large egg, an egg yolk, and half of a fresh yeast cube. My yeast cube weighed around 42 grams, so you will need about 21 grams or 0.7 ounces of yeast. You could also use dry yeast, about 7 grams or 1/4 ounce. The steps will be the same, but please make sure your yeast is still alive and kicking, because if it's already too old and probably already dead, then this recipe won't work. For 1 gallon of vanilla sauce, we need 1 liter or 1 quart of whole milk, 85 grams or 6 tablespoons of sugar, 4 egg yolks, 30 grams or 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1 vanilla pod, and a pinch of salt. If you don't have a vanilla pod on hand, no worries. Even though it's not the same, you can use vanilla extract too. It's about making the most of what you've got. If you're wondering why we prepare so much sauce, later on we want to dip the buns in it, and in my opinion, they are just best if they drown in it. Let's get these little fluffy clouds started. First, we want to mix our flour with the sugar, white sugar, vanilla sugar, and brown sugar go in. Next, we want to warm our milk slightly. It should only get lukewarm and definitely not boil. Mine already warmed up a bit, so once that's done, we take an extra teaspoon of sugar to give the yeast already something to munch on. Pour it in, stir it a bit, and then we take our fresh yeast and crumble it in. And then we want to stir until the yeast has dissolved. Once that's done, make a little trough with your hand and pour the yeast milk slowly into it. Now gently mix some dough from the sides into the middle and slowly mix the milk into the dough. You can either use your hands or a kitchen machine. If you use your hands, make sure to clean them well first and get the dough sticking to your fingers back inside. Now let the dough rest for 10 minutes. In the meantime, we want to gently warm our butter, either in a pan or the microwave. If you're using the latter, please put something on top of it. Otherwise your butter might explode in the microwave and ruin it. I can tell you it's no fun to clean it. Also put your microwave on a low setting. Next, mix your egg with a fork. Once the 10 minutes have passed, pour your egg, the warm butter, and a pinch of salt into the dough and knead it with your kitchen machine. Continue for at least 10 minutes until everything is combined well and a smooth dough has developed. This step is very important because if you don't knead the dough well and long enough, it won't rise as high afterwards and won't turn out as fluffy as we want it to be. When it's done, you can check your dough easily with your fingers. If you poke it and it bounces back, it is done. If it sticks, you want to knead it a little longer. Whew, my workout for the day is done. Now cover our little dough baby with a piece of cloth or a loosely placed lid and let it rest in a warm place for about an hour or until it has significantly increased in size. In the meantime, we can look at old photographs and dwell on memories of our childhood. If there are no photos around, you could take a moment to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It'll really help me a lot and make sure you never miss a delicious recipe like this one. If your timer rings and you didn't get too sentimental by all those memories, then now it is time to prepare our baking pan. Grease it gently with a piece of butter. Look at how much this beauty has grown. Now gently lift the dough out of the bowl. You can grab it at its sides and curl it up while tilting the bowl until it drops onto your table. Form the dough gently into a long roll. Don't pull it or handle it too hard though. It needs to stay fluffy. Now we want to separate the roll into 12 roughly equal pieces. You can either use a knife or a dough scraper. Once that's done, we fold each piece gently into a ball. Start with the cut side upwards and fold the sides down. Don't press them too hard. Remember, we want to make buns, not pancakes. Make sure that the side pointing upwards has a smooth surface. Once that's done, place them in the baking pan. Always 3 in a row, slightly touching each other. They want to cuddle. That will combine them later on and give you edges where you can easily break them apart. Now the dough balls need to get acquainted. Cover them loosely with a piece of cloth and let them rest again for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, heat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit with top and bottom heat. Shortly before the 20 minutes have passed, take your egg yolk and mix it with a tiny little bit of milk. Once the buns have rested enough and risen again, use a baking brush to cover the tops of the buns very thinly with the yolk milk mixture. If you don't have a baking brush, you could also carefully use your fingers. This will give the buns a nice brown shiny surface later on. This step is optional, but I think they look much more appealing that way. Now they are ready to enjoy the sauna. Into the oven with them, let them bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. While the buns bake, let's prepare the vanilla sauce. There's really not much to it. Pour about 2/3 of the milk into a pot. And gently bring it to a boil. Take care not to burn it and stir it often to keep it moving. This might take a little while. In a separate bowl, mix the rest of the milk with the sugar, the egg yolks, the cornstarch, and a pinch of salt. Open up a vanilla pot, scrape out the inside, and mix it in as well. If you want to be lazy, you could also use a teaspoon of vanilla extract instead, but trust me, nothing beats the real thing. Oh, and don't throw the leftover vanilla pot away. Toss it into the mix for some extra flavor. Once the milk in the pot starts to boil, pull it off the heat and pour in the prepared bowl of ingredients. Then return it to the heat and continue stirring until it thickens and just starts to bubble again. And that's it. Remove the vanilla pot and your sauce is ready to go. Let's see how our little dough babies are doing. Oh, look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? Time for the toothpick test. Push the toothpick into a hidden spot on one of the buns. If it comes out clean, they're done. If there's dough sticking to it, give them a little more time in the oven. Once they're ready, take them out. Amazing. And let them cool for a few minutes. Look at these little wonders. The smell is absolutely heavenly. All that's left to do is pour your warm vanilla sauce into a plate. Take a bun, break pieces of it into the sauce and prepare to enter dessert heaven. Ah, this surely brings me back to my childhood. And just so you know, you can also eat these buns on their own, with butter, jam, or any spread you like. Just use them within 2 days. As for the vanilla sauce, it can be kept in the fridge for about 3 days, but let's be honest, it probably won't last that long. What would you pair these buns with? Maybe some homemade jam or a fruit compote? Drop your ideas in the comments. As the weather gets colder, there's nothing better than recipes that warm your soul, like these sweet buns and this velvety vanilla sauce. Speaking of warmth, stay tuned for my next video where I'll be sharing the ultimate cozy drink recipe with you. Mulled wine, perfect for those chilly nights. As always, my friends, if you found this video helpful, delicious, or even just entertaining, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel and bring you even more delights like this. Let me know in the comments how it turned out, or if you're planning to try this recipe. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe something hearty and heartwarming next? Check out this amazing recipe right here. Enjoy your sweet yeast buns, my friends and fellow Apollonians. Thank you for spending time with me today. It really means a lot. I hope this recipe brings you as much joy as it brings me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.